Greetings from the Peekskill Human Relations Commission. My name is Renee Smith. This season we will be introducing you to some nice holiday spirit from our religious leaders within the Peekskill community. First we will have Rabbi Dana Bogarts from First Hebrew Congregation, Reverend Jan Nunley from St. Peter's Episcopal Church, and for Kwanzaa we will have LaFern Joseph from the Fern Tree. I hope you will find this to be a most teachable and learning moment about the different religions and the way we celebrate the holidays this season. And I wish everyone a nice, safe holiday season. Enjoy the program.
Welcome everyone to First Hebrew Congregation. I'm Rabbi Dana Bogarts. Happy to have you here with us in First Hebrew. Hanukkah is around the corner, and it's a very fun and interesting holiday. Although it is not an important holiday, it sometimes gets confused for being a high holy day or a major holiday. It is a festival of freedom based on the story of the Maccabees, who fought against Antiochus, the tyrannical leader of the Hellenistic world, who wanted to take over Judah and Israel and Hellenize, make it all the same, where Judaism could not be observed. In fact, he took over the temple and destroyed all the holy objects inside the temple, and then sacrificed pigs inside the temple. And the priest, Mattathias, stood up and said, "This cannot continue. If you're for God," he spoke to the other Jews, the other Israelites, "if you're for God, come with me." And he and his 5 sons and other Israelites created a small army. And they were really doing guerrilla warfare against a huge army led by Antiochus. And the war was long and it was bloody. But they won back access to their temple in the holy city of Jerusalem. And when they won it back and they came inside, it was a mess. It was a real mess. And they wanted to worship there again and offer sacrifices to their God again in the same way that they had before, but it needed to be cleaned up. And one of the things they had to do was to light the menorah. Menorah is the Hebrew word for a light, a lamp of any kind of a light. A light bulb is a menorah, any kind of a light. And so it looked something like this that's over our ark in our sanctuary. They had to light the light, but there wasn't enough oil. And they had to send someone to get more oil to clean up, to be able to light the light. So this is a Hanukkah, a menorah, that's in the shape of a pot of oil. They had to go get more oil so they could fill the menorah and then light it. And when they could do that, and they could resume worship in their holy temple in Jerusalem, then they could rededicate it so that they could resume their worship in Jerusalem. And so Hanukkah means dedication. That's what it's about. Taking something that's been defiled, something that's been taken for an unholy use, and making it right, making it clean and pure, and then rededicating it for the use for which it was intended. And so today, we celebrate, Jews in the 21st century celebrate by lighting this menorah, this lantern of sorts, this Hanukkah, which is specifically a Hanukkah menorah, to recall getting enough oil to relight the lights in the temple in Jerusalem. And we light the candle. We light this candle's the helper candle. We do this every night. I have it set up here for the 8th night. We're going to pretend it's the 8th night of Hanukkah. And we light from the left to the right of the Chanukiah. So we say the blessing, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Hanukkah. And then we light the first one on the left. And maybe there's family members and friends who've come to visit, congregation members, and everyone takes a turn lighting until they're all lit. Okay, don't be stubborn. There's always one that's stubborn. Come on, Bibi. And the Chanukiah can be made out of almost anything and almost any shape, as long as it's safe. I want to take a look at this Chanukiah, which is made of K'nex. This was made for me by students I had 20 years ago. And everywhere I go, I take this Chanukiah with me, and I can light it, as it were, by putting the flame on. So that Chanukiah goes with me everywhere to remind me of those children who are now adults. And of course, it's traditional to play the game of Dreidel. Dreidel's a 4-sided top. Each side has a different Hebrew letter. The letters are Nun, Gimel, Hey, and Shin. And they stand for the sentence, Nes Gadol Haya Sham, which means a great miracle happened there. And the fact that the Mattathias and his sons won against Antiochus and his great big army really was a miracle. But it's the way we say it in the United States is Nes Gadol Haya Sham. A great miracle happened there. What do you say if you live in Israel? You say, Nes Gadol Haya Po. A great miracle happened here. And their dreidels have a different letter on them at the end. It's not the Shin for Sham, it's Pei for Po, for here. So it's fun when you go to Israel at Hanukkah time to bring back dreidels from Israel because they have different letters on them than we have here. So you play the game. Depending on which letter it falls on, you put money in the pot, you take money out of the pot, you share money. It's gambling, you know, Jewish gambling. Some people play with gelt, the equivalent of money, but it's chocolate coins. I think everybody eats chocolate coins, but these are stamped with an image of the menorah on it. So they're fun to play with. But one other thing about the image of the menorah, it's very common for people to believe that the image of Judaism is the 6-pointed Jewish star, the Star of David. That's only been true for maybe the last 200 years. For the last 4,000 years, the image of Judaism, the image of Israel and Jews, was the menorah. And because it was the image of the temple, it was the temple in Jerusalem, which was the heart of Israel. It was the heart of Judaism. And everywhere that people wanted others to know that it was a Jewish home, or it was that there were Jews there, or it was made by a Jew, or they were going to sign it in some way, They use the image of the menorah. And the image of the destruction of Jerusalem in 70, the second time that Jerusalem was destroyed, when Titus took away the contents of the temple in Jerusalem, they carried away the menorah from the temple. And that was the symbol of the destruction of Jerusalem. And so today, if you go to Israel, what's standing outside of Israel's parliament, the Knesset, is a really, really, really huge menorah. And on each of the arms of the menorah are images of the history of the Jews to say we're still here. So the menorah is really the image, the symbol of the Jewish people, much more than the Star of David. Although the Star of David seems to be quite popular, especially these days. The other issue for Jews in the United States in the 21st century is the proximity of Hanukkah to Christmas, so they often get compared. I want to tell you something about life in Israel. If you're living in Israel and Hanukkah rolls around, family comes home from work and from school, and they light the menorah, maybe before they eat dinner or when they're done with dinner, and they go about doing whatever else they were going to do that evening. In the United States, immediately after we light the candles, what do? We go running into our bedrooms and closets to bring out the gifts we're going to give that day. And it's very exciting. So the first time that I was in Israel visiting friends who had children, we'd light the menorah, and I run off to go bring out the gifts for the kids. And the kids were like, "What's the matter with Dana? What is she doing?" They couldn't understand why I was giving them gifts. It's not a part of their practice. But American Jewish kids get gifts for Hanukkah because we don't want our American Jewish kids to go to school in December and listen to their Christian friends say, "I got this, I got that, I got gifts, I got toys," and the Jewish kids didn't get. So we also have incorporated gift giving into the Hanukkah observance. But it's only true in the United States. It's not true anywhere else in the world. This, in Eastern Europe, this was the way we gave gifts, was coins. You got a little cash. I mean, this is chocolate coins, but I'm referring to real coins. You got a little bit of cash. So that's one way in which Hanukkah is different than Christmas. It lasts for 8 days, and it is really a home holiday. There are some things we do in the synagogue to come together as a community. We'll have a concert, we'll meet up at the JV Mall for a public menorah lighting for the Jews of northern Westchester and Putnam Valley, but it's really a home holiday. It's really not a synagogue-based holiday. Christmas also has a lot of home observances, but also Christmas Eve is a huge service, a very important service, I understand, in the Christian community. So that's also a little different between Hanukkah, the observance of Hanukkah and the observance of Christmas. There are a couple of events that I would love to invite the entire community to come and join us to celebrate Hanukkah. The first is Thursday evening, December 6th, at the JV Mall for the community-wide lighting of the menorah. It's at 6 o'clock at the JV Mall outside of Dick's Sporting Goods. We have all the rabbis, all of the synagogues represented. There are chocolate coins and menorahs and giveaways and singing songs and lighting this huge electric menorah. And about 100 people or so are gathered in the lobby there. So do join us for that, 6 o'clock on December 6th, Thursday, December 6th. The second event is on Sunday, December 9th, here at First Hebrew Congregation, 1821 Main Street in Peekskill. and that is Kol Rina Chorale, is a Jewish singing group, is coming to put on a Hanukkah concert. It begins at 3, and the doors open at 2:30. You can buy your ticket before the week before, up till the week before, for $18, or at the door for $20. And it includes the Hanukkah party afterwards with latkes, potato latkes, traditional Hanukkah food, and playing Dreidel and lighting our very large menorah that's also outside in the front of our building. So please do join us either December 6th at the JV Mall or December 9th here at First Hebrew in Peekskill. Love to have you.
I trust you enjoyed our program. From the Peekskill Human Relations Commission to the city of Peekskill and the surrounding areas, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, and Happy Hanukkah. I wish everyone a safe, harmonious holiday season.